Get set to witness the first-time champions, 7-time champion and the 23-time Grand Slam champion. Witness all the sets and a few setbacks. Witness this and witness that. And definitely not that. Witness the one in this generation and the ones in the next. Witness the crowd pleases, the crowd teases, the drop shots, hot shots and the big shots. Witness the Australian Open and witness the greatness unfold. Only on Sony 10.2 and Sony 6.
Alu seat එකක් දැම්ම නම් නරකයි.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න.
සර්, සර්ගේ පේමන්ට් එක සෙටල් කරන්න තියෙනවා.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න නම් දෙකෙන් ගන්න ඕනේ. Whatever the need, a Ceylon personal loan will be ready for you in just 2 days.
Ceylon personal loan කිව්වා වගේම වැඩ.
Ceylon Bank, the bank with the heart.
You left without saying goodbye. We're practically family. You think you could just take what's mine? And I wouldn't come a hunting.
Bad Times at the El Royale, 19th January, Sunday, 1 p.m. and 9 p.m. on Star Movies, first time on television.
වෙඩින් එකට තාම හොටෙල් එකවත් බුක් කරලා නැහැනේ.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්නම් සුදු.
අලු සීට් එකක් දැම්ම නම් නරකයි.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්නම්.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න. දෙකෙන්.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න නම් දෙකෙන් ගන්න ඕනේ. Whatever the need, a Ceylon personal loan will be ready for you in just 2 days.
Ceylon personal loan කිව්වා වගේම වැඩ.
Ceylon Bank, the bank with the heart.
.2020 action at 7. Buckle up, because this ride is going to get a lot rougher. With the meanest action comes the biggest blockbusters.
World ain't saving itself.
Fun golf course to play. It kind of reminds me of a major championship golf course.
Unbelievable goal from Tommy Fleetwood. Victory for Ireland for the first time in Abu Dhabi.
Get set to witness the first-time champions, 7-time champion and the 23-time Grand Slam champion. Witness all the sets and a few setbacks. Witness this and witness that. And definitely not that. Witness the one in this generation and the ones in the next. Witness the crowd pleases, the crowd teases, the drop shots, hot shots and the big shots. Witness the Australian Open and witness the greatness unfold. Only on Sony 10.2 and Sony 6.
Flicks for All, now in your language. Your favorite movies now come in your preferred language. Now you have the option to choose between English, Hindi, Tamil and Telugu.
क्या बात कर रहे हो?
First and exclusive.
Shazam? Shazam?
This means Billy!
What is happening?
Shazam!
If the law differentiates on the basis of sex, then how will women and men ever become equals?
I don't believe this. I just got out. How could you do this to me?
I have such inheritance by blood, regardless of who I marry or do not marry.
First and exclusive. All new on Saturdays.
Discipline is a skill one must master.
Your focus needs more focus.
And with it takes a master to train the Karate Kid. Flick's first Indian television premieres.
Help!
The quest to save a life is never a simple one.
Lock it down. No one in, no one out.
Watch heroes take the wheel in Marine 6 Close Quarters. Premiering only on Ann Flicks. Late Night Flicks. When the sun goes down,
Don't understand.
the stars awaken to take you on thrill-seeking journeys.